Like I said, the patch came out today, and it's all about changes, and a lot of the changes have not been announced. One of the things that's been changed is certain maps have been changed, and I don't even know the full details of it because it's like it's not in the notes. Why? Don't know. So let's learn about the change. Let's turn on the thing right now. Let's go and let's see what they changed.
Update 1.10.1 is one players will definitely remember. Several big new features and many other cool additions await players in this update. A new system of clan missions, Tour of Duty, improvements to the in-battle communication system, changes to daily missions, balance fixes, and adding encounter battle mode for several maps, revisions to the characteristics of some medium tanks, and a new way to show who you are on the battlefield.
Ugh.
Players received dog tags for the first time during Tank Festival 2019. Back then, they functioned only as part of the festival and were not serious. But now, dog tags are back and worthy of staying in the game on a permanent basis as
they're
your
not.
personal calling card in World of Tanks.
But anyway, let's
Dog
go.
tags consist of 3 elements: player name and clan name, dog tag background, and the most important element, the engraving. It displays something you're proud of.
Yeah, it displays something we're proud of. Woo woo!
There are 3 types of engravings: dedication, cumulative achievements, skill, your rating in the Hall of Fame.
Okay. First off, if your guys have been, hey, how you doing? If your guys have been playing for a long time, it talked about your achievements. Now, you would figure that if you've been playing for, let's say, I know some people that have over 100,000 battles. This does not cover those battles. The achievements are only going to be going from this point forward, or a little bit back. It's not going to be going from when you first started the game. That's something they didn't tell you about. Hey, how you doing from Ireland? How are you guys doing today? Can I find a NA account for free, like a shared account? No one that I know actually has one of those. Yeah, mine is actually in EU is actually just warp103_EU. It's just something simple. I did mine like that. But let me finish this right here, so then we'll talk more about that in just a minute.
And triumph, an epic deed in a particular battle. Both opponents you destroy and those who manage to destroy you can see your dog tag.
Now again, this part here is something that I'm going to show you the way to turn this off, so that way if you don't want to see their information and you don't want them to see your information, it is a way to turn it off, but we'll go get into that in a second.
To make sure there are more of the former than the latter, check out the revised medium tanks.
Okay, now we're going to go into the characteristics of the tanks that's right here. Now, one of the tanks that actually are going to be nerfed, I have no reason why it's actually being nerfed, and that's the Leopard PTA. It's literally in the bottom of the list when it comes to actual, play style. Even though they're saying, well, it's being too. The way they put it was that the characteristics have been buffed too much, but the overall stats still lag behind all the rest of the mediums. But let's go.
The branch of the E50M was always positioned as a medium tank heavy tank hybrid, but it wasn't always played as such. Now, the heaviest medium tanks in the game match their impressive weight and size. The turrets of the E50 and E50M became sturdier, allowing them to play more actively and aggressively. The E50M's predecessors received improved guns. The E50's 105mm cannon now has better penetration with standard shells, while the 88mm gun needs more time to reload. The gun
So basically, like what they did was they improved the characteristics of the gun, but made it with a longer reload. The actual turret armor and everything else of that was something that's been needed for the longest time, and they finally got around to it, which is really good. But let's keep going.
Guns of the same caliber used on the E-50, Panther II, and Panther 8.8.
Now, this is a problem because you have these guns are basically the same on all three tanks, but there's other tanks that actually use the same characteristics, but they didn't change. Prime example, the JagTig 8.8 had the same gun as the other 8.8s, but that tank has not been changed.
8 now deal more damage per shot. Their lighter colleague, the Leopard PTA, performed too well after the latest buff.
Okay, I'm going to call BS on this. Again, the stats cumulative overall don't show this. Now, again, you might have a small buff for the time period that's going on, but normally they let these patches go for like 6 to 8 months to see if it's going to be baked in and is actually going to stay that high. You notice how quickly they nerfed this after the buff.
That's why its characteristics were slightly changed. Now it will take longer to aim, which means it will need to act more carefully. The Chinese medium tank branch probably changed the most. Its top vehicle, the 121, now has a stronger upper glacis plate and more hit points so that it can act more confidently in close-range combat. There's even more horsepower under the hood.
Good change. Again, this should have been happened a long time ago because the Chinese tanks, again, were crap for the longest time.
While the standard shells have higher velocity and better armor penetration. The other Chinese medium tanks changed in a similar way. The T-34-1 has more HP and improved gun handling. The durability of the T-34-2 changed, as well as both its guns. The WZ-120 is now much more suited for close-range combat. The last tank that was buffed is the Object 140.
Okay, now the other three needed the buffs. The 140, no. Again, that tank did not need a buff.
It was quite good, but it needed to be brought up to date.
You notice it already said it was quite good because literally it was quite good compared to the Leopard PTA. So why would you nerf the PTA and buff this tank, which really didn't need a buff? Okay.
The vehicle received stronger upper glacis armor and an additional degree to the gun depression angle.
Now, how in the world is this thing going to have 7 degrees of the gun depression? Come on now, really?
These improvements will be especially useful for the reworked maps.
Now, if you're actually looking on the patch notes online, these changes are not in there. Again, this is something that I really hate when they do this, because this should have been known before time, so everybody would have been able to test the changes out on in the test server. They basically lagged this behind and so we're not going to put this in, and then all of a sudden it's here. Let's go. Now again, as a CC,
was changed in several spots. Now it's more convenient for the upper base team to play in the central part of the map. Berlin was changed for the same purpose, and an additional position was added to equalize the chances for both teams. Some cover spots are now more convenient to use armor.
Now, what they're covering right now is actually stuff that actually was covered to be changed, stuff like that, but there's some minute change in certain maps that I don't even know all the references about. I've heard other CCs talk about it that I've already played, and they've told me a couple of things, but I haven't tested it out myself, and again, I have no idea exactly where they are on different maps, but let's go.
In general, the map became more convenient for all vehicle types. The changes in the lower part of Westfield prepared the map for encounter battles without affecting the gameplay of the main mode.
That's bull. This is BS. That change that they made when they moved the buildings around and everything else, that will mean that people that are from the north side will be able to get, remember before you can get next to this house that was over here and shoot over and so that. Now you have 2 additional houses with cover that you can get over and shoot to the other side.
In Ruinberg, the town part was changed. The lower base team now has a few more niches to hold position.
Now, again, this is something that, again, this was dumb. Not this, because this was actually needed, but literally you made, when they did the last change to Ruinberg, when they changed the church and changed the other side, everybody told them before time, you made those positions way too strong. This shouldn't have been done even in super tests. They said, no, it's fine. It's not going to affect anything. Lo and behold, now you have to change the other side to balance out what you've already said that wasn't going to affect anything that you already know you're wrong.
While the embankments on the side of the other team became a bit lower.
Again, you notice that they nerfed part of the embankments from the other side to make it more fair. Because again, now you had the opposite problem with it. One side was, they keep going, that map is so unbalanced that they fix one side, make it too strong instead of making like one change. See how that works? No, they make 4 or 5 changes. That's too much at one time.
Also, Encounter Battle was added to Karelia, Studzianki, Westfield, and Pilsen. Gameplay on those maps will become more diverse, as will the rewards for daily missions.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. When they saying that they've made it available for the different play style, for the different mode, they've made changes to those maps. Just like they made but they didn't tell you where the changes are at. So later on, I'll have to, it's probably being a separate thing. Well, I'll remember to remind me to go back in and say, hey, can you cover the changes that they made that weren't announced? Okay, this is going to be this next thing that I think is really dumb. Now, the rewards that they have right now were random, but at least fair. If you played enough battles or played in a day, you were easily able to get some stuff. Now, you have to grind like hell to get the same dailies done for a hope and a prayer that you get something really good.
Previously, the missions were completed quickly, unnoticed, and with modest bonuses. Now, daily missions are more significant because the rewards are more substantial. The mission conditions changed accordingly.
Now, you have to destroy 7 vehicles. This is for an example. You went from destroying how they have to destroy a little bit of vehicles, meaning that if you only played like I do sometimes, only play, especially on my off days, I only played like maybe 2 or 3 battles, maybe 4. And I was able to get most of these missions done by simply just playing 3 or 4 games. Now again, I'm not the average player. I'm a little bit better than the average player. I'm gonna just say it like that. But I was able to get them done pretty easy. Now, instead of have to play 3 or 4 battles like that, I would guaranteed now have to play 5 to 6 to get these rewards.
All missions provide more in-game currency. And players can get crew books, crew skins, and random vehicle blueprint fragments for
Now again, random blueprint fragments. Now again, if this was never even changed to begin with to this system, when you were playing before, you were able to get blueprint fragments just from a drop, just from playing. Now it's supposed to be a special thing now to get a fragment to which before they started this whole rigmarole, you were able to get it just for playing, in battle. Oh, boom, you did well. Here's one of these.
completing the bonus 4th mission.
So again, you have to complete the bonus 4th mission. Ooh.
If you complete 45 daily and premium missions, you can even get a new piece of equipment as part of a special reward. This will help to complete daily missions more efficiently, as well as in the new tours of duty.
Now again, so that means it's harder to get to the 45. If you get to the 45, there's no guarantee that the new stuff that they put inside it you'll actually get. Until I actually play enough of these to see that what the drop rate is for this stuff here, so that it's basically sunshine, rainbows and sunshine. Like, oh, you can get this, but you're never going to get it. But we'll see. Ugh.
Tour of Duty is a clan mission system. It helps your clan develop more effectively. Also, each new clan member becomes more important. Even players who are not yet ready to take part in serious clan activities can contribute to the common cause. Small and young clans will now be more interested in recruiting new members.
Now you're going to see inside of chat, you're going to see so many people say, join my clan, join my clan, join. The pressure is going to be on. You're going to see it everywhere for you to join a clan. So if you're the guy, again, that only plays a limited amount of battles and you're like, you get on, play your battles and get off, you're going to be inundated with people saying, please join my clan.
The more players in a clan, the faster the Tour of Duty progresses.
See what I'm saying? So it's an incentive to say the more clan members you have, the more you get stuff. So again, with that in mind, people are going to be begging you to say, please, please join my clan.
The Tour of Duty progression is divided into 2 bars, personal and clan. By completing personal missions, tasks, every clan player fills their personal contribution bar. Doing so enables players to receive rewards for completing stages and not...
Now, this part right here, glorious.
...changing their familiar playstyle. The clan progression bar is filled when clan members complete personal missions, as well as tour objectives when in platoons of clan members and during clan battle.
Now, again, a lot of people join clans and everything else that don't actually platoon up. I'm one of them. Even though I'm in a clan, there's very few people in my own clan that I actually platoon up with. You know, every now and then I might platoon up with, but there's like 3 people that basically their lives are very similar to mine, that we talk all the time and everything else that when I'm online, and when one of those 3 are online, they're like, okay, well, let's tune up and everything else that for a couple of battles. So again, this is going to be another more pressure to say, well, we got to platoon to get these extra benefits.
This earns more personal rewards and industrial resource that can be used to develop strongholds.
Yeah, Hammer, that's the problem. What I'm having is, what is the probability of actually getting these drops? And nowhere is that stuff posted. You know, so again, it can be said that, well, these things are going to drop. What, 1 out of 100? 1 out of, give me some numbers so I can know what the drops are going to be like.
Joining a clan is the first step towards many rewards, stronghold bonuses, and rare vehicles. Now, let's get to the last point of this update.
Okay, now we're going to go to the last section that they basically effed up. I already didn't like the communication system because basically when I'm in a team, most of the time it would be like out of a day, example. I would be the only person in that whole day that's actually using the marker saying, I'm going here, I'm going there, or something like that. Most times throughout the whole day, meaning when I'm streaming, I play 20 battles or somewhere similar. Sometimes it's low, maybe down to 15, but sometimes it'd be up to 25. Throughout that 15 to 25, I might see someone else use that market system one time out of that many battles. And usually, again, let's go in the middle of 20 battles. I would see one person other than me constantly using it and use it. Now they've actually made it worse. They've shrunk the size down to a point where literally if you use the marker and another tank is over where that marker is, you can no longer see the marker. So what's the point of the marker?
The work on improving the communication system continues. Markers on the minimap became smaller. They don't hinder.
Again, this marker here, you can see. This marker here, you can see. This marker here, the minute that they put tanks actually in that section, meaning that if there's another tank from your team where these markers are, you can no longer see the marker. So if that's the case, what's the point?
They're monitoring the battle situation. Markers on the map are located higher. They are more easily discernible and don't obstruct the view.
No, now they're more annoying than they were before.
However, if the markers on the battlefield still bother you, you can turn them off in the game settings. The team
which you'll see my game settings and everything else to that, most of the marker settings are actually turned off because they still haven't fixed the core issue is that when you really need to use the marker, meaning that don't go there, now you can't, I don't want to say spam, you can't use it effectively because again, you can say, don't go to this area, you can hit the thing, but like you can say, oh, if you wanted to point out 4 areas that need to be covered, you can't anymore. Or you got to say, click it once, wait, click the next one, wait. In the battle, it's like that's fluid.
communication system
That's
is
dumb.
constantly being improved thanks to your feedback. Thank you, tankers. That's it for this update. Set up your personal dog tags, carry the battle in the reworked medium tanks, complete personal missions, and develop your clan. Good luck on the battlefield.
All right. So we finished with that hot garbage. Okay. Now I'm going to show you mine. I'm going to the settings. Now, let's go down to, actually, it's here. You notice that I only have the location marker and indication scene panel. I don't have the sticky, the personal command, and show base, because again, all this does is annoy the hell out of me, and it just makes it so hard to actually do anything. Okay? Dog tags. You can turn off the dog tags. I have mine off, because again, I don't want to see no one else's dog tag when they get destroyed, and then I don't want somebody to see mine when I get destroyed. That's information. It's like basically at this point, you're trying your best to. With dog tags, it's basically because since they're seen, you basically it's like having XVM on when you don't want to. Now I don't use the anonymizer or anything else like that, but again, all this is basically a form of XVM that you can see all the time, especially if it's someone that can show their historical stuff. Oh wait, good player, crap player, good player, crap player. Easy to see. Even though you can literally see that by the way they drive into the whatever anything else like that. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. So, dog tags, crap. Now they didn't tell you about literally you'll be having the update also has stuff on rank battles. Because rank battles are going to be coming up soon, so that's in the setup for it and everything else like that. Again, the problem I'm having is certain tanks that were rebalanced for no reason. Certain tanks that are actually missing the gun. Again, you gave some of the tanks that have the same gun and upgrade. Other tanks you just basically left them out. Because again, if you give a better gun to the 8.8. It might be more competitive because basically when it slaps you, if it still has the same rate of fire, but with a more meaty gun, meaning that it has when it slaps you for more HP, why wouldn't you give the 8.8 something that everybody's been begging for forever? This gun needs to slap people harder so they don't sit there and rush you. Nope. All the other guns of the same designation, they're going to slap harder. 8.8? No, don't do it. Again, how the hell is the Soviet tank getting 7 degrees of gun depletion? Really? It wasn't already badass enough. Let's make it even more of a badass. Okay. So that's what I felt about this patch and everything else today. It's this my feeling on it. You can disagree or agree. I'm just saying how I see it. So we go into the chat now for that because again I was missing a lot of stuff because I wanted to get this out of the way. Because I'm probably going to put this up on YouTube so you'll see what my thoughts about it are.